gonna wait for a few of y'all to get on. I got tired of typing and texting. I figured I'd make a video real quick and go live. I don't do this often, but got some stuff that really need to be said. Welcome to Future Society. Welcome Nicole Page. Welcome Steven Simpson. What's up, Aleda? What's up, Prince Robinson? Going live, waiting for a few more people to show up. Talk about the political climate right now. Usually I just write an editorial. I didn't even feel like writing right now. What's up, Rue Ross? Just figured I'd address everybody on try to make an appeal by going live. What's up, Pat English? How you doing, girl? Good afternoon, King. Prince Robinson. Shout out to Patty Coombs. Just gonna wait for a few more people to get on before I get started. Anthony Old School Mitchell, what's going on, my man? As I said, I'm tired of typing in that group, the chat we was in. Usually I hit the keyboard and start writing an editorial. My column, Real Talk, with AJ Woodson. I decided I'm going to do a video because really disgusted by the mentality and the attitude that's going on, the tribalism and the blood and crip mentality. Wait for a few more people to get on. Hey, Caitlin, what's good? Just waiting for a few more people to get on before I start. Black Westchester Live, Real Talk from AJ Woodson about how things are going down right now. Feel free to share it. Go ahead, my brother, what's good? All right, I'm going to start now, I guess, and anybody who doesn't see from the beginning, they can go back and watch it after it's saved. So I'm seeing a lot of people. What's up, everybody? This is AJ Woodson, Editor-In-Chief of Black Westchester, host and producer of the People Before Politics radio show. Shout out to my partner in crime, Damon K. Jones. Yo, I'm really disappointed in a lot of things that I'm seeing lately. I'm really disappointed in a lot of the attitudes, especially I understand it's silly season, but that's not an excuse. I wrote something in the Red Blue Talk, hurt people, and everybody's been hurt. When you live in a small area like 4x4, like Mount Vernon, that's 4x4, everybody's been hurt. But that gives no excuse to just go to continue attacking each other. What's up, Kevin Holt? That gives us no excuse. Yo, we're in a really serious situation in this city, specifically Mount Vernon, but the black community as a whole, because, you know, we don't just deal with Mount Vernon, we deal with the community throughout Westchester and some of the communities throughout the state. Yo, the tribalism is ridiculous. I'm sitting here watching the conversation in the Red Blue Talk. Shout out to Charles Stern. I'm watching MSNBC and CNN, and yo, we are lost. We're attacking. If all the energy that I've seen lately with people going after other people, supporters of a candidate going after other supporters, all the fighting, all the energy that has gone into fighting, if that same energy went into speaking up on the situations that's wrong in our city, if that same energy went into fighting what we need to fight, those we need to fight instead of each other, one, our city wouldn't be in the situation it is, and I'm speaking to Mount Vernon, but our community as a whole wouldn't be where it is. And it wouldn't matter who's in office. No one person in office is going to be the savior and save this city. A lot of y'all out there, it is your responsibility. We can't just vote somebody in and think they're going to save the city. And what's up, Charlie Khalil, Andrew Dobbs, Lynn Woodley? We vote somebody in and then we expect that they are going to save us. And we shun our responsibility. We the people. I think we forget or don't understand what that means. We the people. We the people have the power. You don't like what's going on? Like, I spoke on the radio show, on our show, People Before Politics. I spoke on our show. I was impressed when the situation happened in Puerto Rico and 1 million Puerto Ricos hit the street and said, yo, this person got to go. We had the tale of 2 mayors twice in Mount Vernon, 3 mayors in a 3-month period, and I couldn't get 5, 10, 15, 50 people to meet me on the stairs of City Hall to be like, yo, Richard Thomas got to go for all of this bullshit. He got to go. Nobody, saying it on Facebook, complaining in the Facebook groups and on social media, that don't get the job done. We all have a responsibility to stand up for the change that we want to see. It's no mistake that every other municipality in Westchester is doing better than Mount Vernon. It is no mistake. It is no mistake that no other municipality would stand for their bridges, the MTA keeping their bridges closed for decades. No other municipality would stand for that. Mount Vernon is a dumping ground. They're stripping us of our services, the probation office, etc., etc. I'm on the radio. I'm live. I'm on the radio right now.
He's on the radio right now.
Live. I'm sorry. Somebody's knocking on my door. No other municipality would stand for the conditions that we stand for and accept from our local, county, state, and federal elected officials. And the fact is, they don't have to do much for us to continue to vote for them and keep them in office. I saw a situation in White Plains where, the mayor, I was very discouraged when I saw a good candidate run against the Mayor Roach in White Plains. And, he really hadn't done much for the black community, from the killing of Kenneth Chamberlain on down. And black people in White Plains voted him in again. We're blindly loyal to the Democratic Party. And I'm not telling nobody to switch. What's up, Monique James? What's up, Charles Stern? What's up, John Jones? I'm not telling nobody to switch their party. I'm saying we have to get something for our vote. The black community is the only community that the elected officials don't come see what it is that we want, but tell us what they're going to give us and tell us how we're going to be governed. Other communities tell their mayors, their police commissioners how they want to be policed, how they want to be governed. But Rose Dixon, but we sit there and we accept whatever they're going to give us, whatever scraps, and we accept it. There are way more of us than there are of them. They can't get into office if we don't vote for them. David Duarte, what's up? If we don't vote for them, they can't get in office. They need you more than they need than you need. They need us to even get into office. But we don't. Yo, I came back from Georgia in 2014. The first election was the 2015 mayoral race. Ruth Hassel Thompson, a lot of respect for her as a person, as an elected official. But one of the things that discouraged me, most of the females in Mount Vernon that I heard that supported her, they said, that's my girl. That's not a reason to vote for an elected official. That's my girl. Shout out to Benjamin Anderson Jr. That's my girl. We vote for people. We vote with our heart instead of our head. And we wonder why we're in the conditions that we're in. What made me do this video was the attitude, the blood and crip mentality, the tribal mentality that I'm seeing amongst the different supporters. Support who you want, vote for who you want. But in Mount Vernon, it's 4x4, yo. November 6th, when it's all said and done, you still got to live with these people. You still got to see them at Home Depot. You still got to see them in the supermarket. You still got to see them at the basketball game, wherever. But we're making permanent enemies over temporary situations, fighting amongst ourselves. And outsiders is just watching us, waiting for us to implode so they can come here, take this city over, and kick all of us out. Like Harlem, like Brooklyn, like everywhere else. And just like they didn't see it, Luke Sweeney, what's going on, Mr. Sweeney? Just like we didn't see it, they didn't see it in Harlem. Because I had a shop in Harlem at the Mart 125 across from the Apollo. I stayed on 115th and Lenox. And I started seeing certain things, and I was telling the Harlem residents, and they was looking at me like I was crazy. Now you go to Harlem right now, it's like, yo, like, okay, there's a black person, there's a black person, there's a black person. Yo, I knew it was officially over. You know, they say white people didn't cross 110th after dark. Yo, I seen a dude walking his bike 2:30 in the morning down Lenox Avenue between 120th and 119th. I'm like, yo, he was comfortable. That ain't never happened before. You know what I'm saying? So, yo, we allow, Damon says we are the Wakanda of Westchester. And we continue to allow our elected officials and our leaders give away our vibranium. This is a very cherished piece of property, piece of real estate, and everybody knows it but the people in Mount Vernon. You got access to 4 or 5 highways. You have 1, 2, 3 Metro North stops. 2 lines with 3 stops. Fleetwood, Mount Vernon East, Mount Vernon West. And if you live close to 241st, you can take Wakefield. So you got access to 4 stops, actually. We got access to the last stop of 2 subway lines. The 2 and the 5, 241st and White Plains Road. This is a city that most people that are younger probably don't know have 4 movie theaters at one time. When I was in high school, we also had a roller skating rink, United Skates. So a lot of things you could do in this city. Now, if you want to spend your entertainment dollars, you gotta go to New Rochelle, who has built up New Rock City. You gotta go to the Bronx, who built up their whole co-op Bay Plaza area. You gotta go to Yonkers, who've built up their cross county center and built Ridge Hill. And there's a nice theater out there where you can sit down and you can order food and have drinks. I forgot the name of that theater. But yo, we can't go. I can't go see the new movie here. I gotta go somewhere else. I can't, if I wanted to go bowling or roller skating or anything with my recreational dollars, I gotta go outside of the city. And that's by design. And we allow it to happen. It's time for us to wake the fuck up. I'm sorry for all of y'all that, don't appreciate the language, but this is real talk by AJ Woodson. It's time to wake the fuck up. Like that line, like that scene in one of them Spike Lee movies where a dude was in the middle of the schoolyard and was saying, wake up. Yo, we all need to do that. We all need to wake up, for real, for real. Yo, but the biggest thing, yo, everybody's talking about unity. Everybody's talking about one accord. All I'm seeing is divisiveness. All I'm seeing is personal attacks. All I'm seeing is name calling. Good afternoon, Reginald Lafayette. I'm talking about the divisiveness, especially around the election time. I'm talking about the need for us to get it together, or they're gonna take us over on every aspect. Um, we keep putting the same people, or if not the same people, similar people back in office. I mean, when Ernie Davis was in, there was a big Ernie Davis must go. Adam Turnage the third from Baltimore. What's going on? Damani Lee. Oh well, I think you live in Baltimore too. What's up, fam? Yo, there was a big Ernie Davis must go. Everybody was on this. It was like this big Ernie Davis must go. We need change. He's too old. Yo, we got change, but we need to be specific on the change that we're calling for. Change for the sake of change is not necessarily a good thing. I hear people saying, yo, especially in Mount Vernon, he's an outsider. He's an outsider. He's not born here. Okay, Richard Thomas was born and raised here, went to the public schools, screwed this city worse than any other politician has done before him. Sometimes an outsider is not a bad thing. I'm just disgusted. I don't know if y'all can tell. I'm disgusted by the attitude and the mentality. It doesn't really matter who sits in City Hall if y'all can't get it together. And what Joanne is saying, okay, what community groups are there in Mount Vernon dedicated to empower the people and tackle these issues? Where in Mount Vernon are the offices of these groups? That's what's needed. Agreed, Joanne. We've had a few groups that, Damon, myself, and Bob get invited to these meetings, community action groups, these groups that are forming. Monique James was there. Jeff Monroe was there. A lot of the people that care, but it didn't amount to nothing. And on the other side of town, we've seen the Fleetwood Citizen Society come out of nowhere during the same time. They're organized. They fight for what they want. They fight amongst each other. And I seen that, working in the city, I see that with the Jewish community. Yo, the different Jews, they fight amongst each other. But when you come to attack them, they stick together. Um, my battery's running low. Let me put my charger on. There we go. All right, so we charge it. They stand together. We're the only group of people that don't stand together. Black people are the only army that kills its wounded. You know, in the army and the military, leave no man behind. We don't take that mentality. We kill our wounded. That goes for the blacks. That goes for the Democrats, which is mostly blacks. I see that in the Latino community. I interviewed this salsa legend who's a community activist, Willie Colon, and a lot of the things he was saying about the Latino community. He could have just been talking about. He sounded like me and Damon talking about the black community. So, what are my challenge to everybody out here who can hear my voice? You want better? What are you prepared to do for it? What are you prepared to do about it? You don't like the conditions in your city? What are you prepared to do about it? What are you prepared to do for it? People are never going to get, we talk about Martin Luther King and all of those kind of things. They didn't let them people ride on the bus anywhere they want because it was the right thing to do. They stayed off the buses for over a year and almost bankrupt that company. That company was like, yo, give them Negroes anything they want. Just get them back on the bus. Everything we've got in this country, we had to fight for it. Every right that we got, the right to vote, etc., we had to fight for it. What are you willing to do about the conditions in your city? Are you going to continue to just complain? Talk about it on Facebook? Diss your brother? Diss your sister? Obama, I just saw something Obama was talking, I don't know where he was. He was like, yo, we got to stop looking at even the good people. They're flawed. Ain't none of us perfect. The only man who was perfect, who ever walked this earth, was Jesus Christ. Every pastor, every bishop, every mayor, every city council person, every radio show host, every teacher, every fireman, every policeman, we are all flawed individuals. We're quick to attack. We're quick to talk about what the other one did. We're quick to talk about what the other one's not doing. But do we ever look in the mirror and see what our role in the situation is, of why the situation is the way it is? No. Before you can demand change from somebody else, you got to be the change you want to see. Quoting Obama, you got to be willing to look at your role and your situation. This is a great city. It doesn't reflect that right now. This city could be great again. But only if we want it to be. Yo, Damon and I do Black Westchester. We do People Before Politics. This city really doesn't support us. I live here. It's the other municipalities that keep their paper going. For the most part, we get support from the library and a couple other places occasionally. But for the most part, the city of Mount Vernon, the businesses, they don't support us. But you know what, though? We stay here and fight for this city. Not fighting for the city because I'm making a whole lot of money and I'm living large. I'm fighting for the city because this is the city. This is my city. This is my mother's city. You know what I'm saying? This is where I come from. You know what I'm saying? That's why I stay here and I commit myself and I put myself through all the stuff I put myself through to fight for this city. What are you willing to do? We need change. We need to hold our elected officials to the feet to the fire. And we need not to be so emotional over it. Yeah, so when Ernie Davis was in office, everybody who supported Richard Thomas and all of them, they was amped that I was holding Ernie Davis feet to the fire. Anybody in City Hall and anybody down with Ernie Davis hated us. When Ernie got out of office and Richie got in office, and I started holding Richie's feet to the fire, all those same people that was praising us was calling us out, was attacking us. And all of a sudden, all the Ernie Davis people start liking us. Because, we was attacking Richard Thomas. But the thing with the attack is we try not to attack the person. We try to attack the issue. I think that's very important. And that's what I don't see going on now. We're attacking people. We're not attacking the issue. We're attacking the candidate, the candidate's family, the candidate's supporters. We're attacking each other. Again, after November 6th, we all got to still live here. And a lot of y'all who call me out of my name and call Damon out of his name, that say all the stuff you say, when the establishment turns on you, when your business is being illegally targeted, when your son or daughter is wrongfully incarcerated, when your child is shot by the police or whatever, it's us that you call. One of the things I want to say it here, yo, we are not going to fight for anybody who is not going to fight for themselves. I am personally tired of people coming to me because they have been wronged. I stand and go hard for them. And when the darts started coming back and when the attacks start coming and I look around, why I'm standing there by myself? And this is your fight. Why am I being attacked? Because of you. Because you won't stand up for yourself. If you're not going to fight for yourself, Black Westchester's not going to fight for you. Now, we're not talking about, the whole thing of being the voice of the voiceless. There are some people who can't fight for themselves, and we will always be there for them. But I'm talking about those who, and we're also not going to do your dirty work. People send us stories and stuff because they want us to take somebody down that's their adversary or their opponent. We're not going to do your dirty work. No. We have been used and caught up in the situation before. We have. I'm human. You know what I'm saying? But I caught on a little bit. I see what's going on, and we're not going to do your dirty work for you. If you got a problem with somebody, you take that on yourself. For real. Yo, let me just say there's a lot of people out there that is trying to do things. There's a lot of people that are speaking up. Not a lot. There are people that are speaking up. There are people that are fighting. There are people that are not afraid to speak truth to power. But the rest of the city is like, I get it. You work for the city. You got a job, family, a house. You really don't want to bite the hand that feeds you. I get it. But freedom ain't free. I could be doing something else right now, making a whole lot of money. I've been writing professionally since '93, from everybody from Word Up to The Source to the Amsterdam News to VH1, VH1 and MTV. I could be making a lot of money doing this, but I choose to do this. And because I do, there's some of y'all Negropeans that won't advertise with us because we're too controversial. But me and Damon, we choose to do this. Freedom is not free. We need to support each other. We need to support each other's businesses. These are things we all can do. Support the black and brown businesses here. Support the residents who have businesses, whether it's a business out of their house, whether they got a storefront, whatever. We need to support each other so we can be strong together. Just because they're not attacking you today, we can't stand there and go, yo, that ain't got nothing to do with me. Because once they take that person out, they're coming for you next. And then the person that they took out, it can't have your back because you allowed them to be taken out. I know a lot of this is falling on deaf ears. I know a lot of y'all still in the mind frame of silly season. And I know there's going to be some talking of some shit behind this. I don't care. I don't care. That's also the beautiful thing about having your own thing. I do not, and I want to be clear, I've said this to a few people, because a few people have this perception of what me and Damon or what Black Westchester should be. We're too black for some people, for some Negropeans. We're not black enough for some of you go back to Africa Negroes. The beautiful thing of having your own thing. And it was a quote by Muhammad Ali, and they one of his daughters said, it was one of his favorite quotes at his funeral. I don't have to be who you think or want me to be, and I don't have to do it the way you want me to do it. That does not make me wrong, and that doesn't make me right or you right. We're doing the best that we can with what we have, out of nowhere, to be the voice. But we can't even do it all by ourselves. Y'all have a voice too. Maybe y'all don't write, maybe you don't do radio, but there's a lot of things you can do. Support a good candidate who could do good by the city, who maybe just the problem is they don't have a lot of money. Support that person with your wallet and not just your words. And maybe we can get some good people in there and not just people who cater to these big lobbyists and developers because they got to sell their soul to get into office because we don't support them. We tell them to run. We tell them go ahead. We put all these beautiful words into them, but we don't support them with our wallets. And others do. Shout out to Oscar Davis. I see you in Eric Short. Shout out to the Democratic nominee, Sean Patterson Howard is tuned in. I don't know if you heard anything I said before, Sean. We're dealing with the mentality right now, the divisiveness of our community. I'm not calling anybody in particular out. I'm talking about everybody. Everybody. I see candidates, and I will say this, and I've said this to Sean herself, so I'm not talking behind her back. You know, she's called for unity and civility, and I've seen some of her supporters be the most uncivil. I've seen Andre Wallace call for civility and unity. I've seen some of his supporters be ugly too. Richard Thomas's supporters have been very ugly. The Democratic Party has been very ugly. There's blame to go all the way around. So first, let's look at what our actions or inactions are doing and contributing to the decline of our city before we start pointing fingers at others. I don't have to like you. If you're good for the city and you're doing something for the betterment of the city, I support you. I personally do not have to like you as a person. And I think we need to get that in our head. Someone told me they only give me grief because they got love for me. You know what? Love me a little less and treat me more with respect. How about that? Huh? Again, I'm not, I just had to do this. It was just too much to say. I was reading Charles Stern's Red Blue Talk. I've been watching the comments, even though I turned the notification off because y'all make my phone ring every 5 minutes all day long when I'm trying to work. But then I look and I see the comments. I've seen some of the most ignorant, divisive, destructive, negative comments to other people that also live in this city. Shout out to Nas Duncan. Shout out to Lee Carolyn Brown. Peekskill. Mount Vernon ain't alone. Peekskill got it going on too. There's a whole lot of hate in Peekskill. That's the only thing y'all think I'm all about Mount Vernon. I've been watching all the hate in Peekskill, all the negative, systematic racism going on in Yonkers and New Rochelle, White Plains, Greenburgh. The fact is we just can't be everywhere and cover everything. Some of y'all have to speak up. We have a letter to the editor section. If there's an issue in your community that needs to be addressed, you need to write what that is. Put your name on it and send it to me. blackwestchester@gmail.com, and I will gladly run it. The community has to step up. The people have to step up. And we have to stop being so damn nasty to each other, for real. And election time, I'm not taking that as an excuse. There's no fucking excuse. So stop using, it's election time. It's politics. If you have to do all of that to get into office or get the person you support in office, they probably shouldn't be there. And I'm talking to every person, every candidate, every elected official, every party chair, commissioner. I'm talking to everybody and all the supporters that support all of them. Stop putting your dysfunctions on the other people. Stop tearing down people because they don't support who you support, or they have a different way of going about things, or they have different ideas than what you think is the way it should be. That is supposed to be what makes this country great, our combined ideas. The right to support who we want to support, even when we make a mistake. Yep, I supported Richard Thomas, even when we make a mistake. I had the right to support him. But then as Black Westchester, I also had a right to hold his feet to the fire when he disappointed me and didn't turn out to be the person that he perpetuated himself to be to me. I own mine. Am I perfect? No. Am I going to make mistakes? Yes. Am I occasionally going to even get a story wrong? Yes. When I find out, I try to make the corrections. I've walked up to certain people and shook their hand and looked them in their face and was like, you know what? You was wrong and I was right. And all those people I did it with, y'all know who I'm talking about. Because y'all know because I did it. If I wrote something, I usually had the conversation with you as a man first. I had some problems with Sean Patterson Howard. I picked up the damn phone and called her. We didn't see eye to eye in the whole conversation, but there was some mutual support. I've had some real fuck you conversations with Andre Wallace. Y'all don't know that. But then at the end, there was mutual support. Reggie Lafayette to tell you, he ain't always see eye to eye. Ernie Davis to tell you. I'm man enough to back up my words. I'm man enough to admit when I make a mistake. That's another thing. Yo, that's why I said me first, because, you know, when you say things, people want to only think that you're coming at them. So I said I'm not perfect, and I make mistakes. All of y'all motherfuckers make mistakes, too. But y'all got to be man and woman enough to admit when you made a mistake and stop doubling down on the bullshit. Excuse my language for anybody who just doesn't want to hear the language, but I'm a little fed up. I'm fed up and I'm disappointed in a lot of people. A lot of people that I have respect for. Y'all are tearing down. Yo, for any white people, this white supremacy thing going on, and they say, you know what? You can't give them niggas no power. Do you know what? All they got to do is point to Mount Vernon and its dysfunction as proof of their statement. Because of our behavior, not because of anything they did. This is black run. Democrat rule. Trump ain't got nothing to do with what's going on in Mount Vernon. The Republicans ain't responsible for the decline of Mount Vernon. The independents, the conservatives, the Working Family Party, is all Democrat rule. I ain't saying not to be a Democrat, but hold our Democrats accountable and get the right ones in there. The ones that's not going to go along to get along. I have no respect for people that just go along to get along. Have more respect than somebody who's willing to risk that they may never be reelected to do the right thing. Just do the right thing. You may never be reelected, but while you're in there, do the right thing. I will respect you forever. I'd rather you go in there for 4 years, do the right thing, than bounce. 8 years, then bounce. All these lifelong elected officials getting complacent. Shout out to Lorraine Moneypenny. Shout out to Lee Carolyn Brown said, I know that's right. I don't know if y'all got any comments for me, any questions for me while I'm here. This is Black Westchester Live. This is the live version of my editorial column Real talk from AJ Woodson. I'm dealing with the division in our community. This is a function. The division and dysfunction in our community. And before y'all all say it, yo, I got issues. My issues got issues. I got baggage more than y'all know. I'm far from perfect. I don't pretend to be. But you don't have to be to stand up and speak out. I'm a Mount Vernon voter. I'm a Mount Vernon I'm a registered voter. I'm a resident of Mount Vernon. I was born here. I went to school here part of the way. I have the right to speak. Even if I only lived here for 4 years, I would have the right to speak. But I'm 3 generations Mount Vernon and 3 generations New Rochelle. If anybody want to do the homework. I ain't new to this. It's because I lived in Long Island part of the time. I lived in Harlem part of the time. Lived in Atlanta part of the time. I even lived in Chicago. I think that gives me actually more of a global view. I haven't been in this 4x4 all my days, so I kind of actually see what's going on outside of the city. But my people, this is my plea. Please find a way to work together. Find a way to step up and be the change you want to see. Don't wait for somebody else. Don't vote for somebody to be the change. You have it in you to be the change. If we all do our part. Ernie Davis used to say, people talk about the city so dirty, but then they got garbage on their block and they won't pick it up because it's not theirs. I think Jamie Pessin was doing that thing where he was picking up garbage and everybody was laughing at him because he was picking up garbage every day and putting up the little video. What that should have did is inspired everybody else to pick up the garbage around him instead of laughing at him. And some of the jokes was funny. I laughed. Some of this shit was funny that they was writing. But you know what? He still was going out there and doing it and getting his guys to go out there and do it. What are you doing? Most of the people that I see talking the most junk, what are you doing? Besides talking about the people who's doing stuff. Some of our elected officials, I think they batshit crazy. But you know what? They wanted to run to change the community. And maybe they wasn't right all the time, but they tried. What are you doing? For those who ran and got their ass handed to them and, landslide, they had the heart to run because they wanted to be the change. They go to their city council meetings. Hell, y'all talk about the school board, the school system so effed up. You know how empty the school board meetings are? Not even people who got kids in the school don't even go to the school board meetings. But y'all want to talk about the school. Why don't y'all go to the meeting? Talk to the board and tell them what the problem is. Make your voice heard. Why don't you go to the city council meetings? Why don't you go to the county legislative meetings? Do you know I tried to get this together and then Richard Thomas tried to co-opt it for his election in 2015. But the MTA also has meetings once or twice a month and they allow you to come there and they allow you to speak. I tried to get like a subway train car full of people. Let's all go to the MTA meeting and tell them, when you gonna fix our effing bridges? We're not taking this no more. We're not sitting down for this no more. Do you know it never happened? And again, Richard Thomas tried to co-opt it and make it part of his campaign. And, I backed off because that's not what it was supposed to be about. But that's something we can do, We can all get together. We ain't even got to drive. You just jump on the 2, go down. Jump on the 5, go down. If people are interested, hit me. I'll get the information. Let's go to one of the next ones. Let's tell the MTA Mount Vernon ain't having it no more. Let's see how many calls I get. Let's see how many emails or text messages I get. Let's see if this video changes anything. I don't expect everybody to feel me, but I think it needed to be said. I'm going to say it. I got love for all of y'all, man. Y'all my brothers, y'all my sisters.
You know, we take on all of these European qualities. In Africa, we treated each other like brothers and sisters. That's how this black community should be. That's your brother, that's your sister. Yo, some of us fall. And when we fall, you know what? I caught a lot of heat. When Richard Thomas said that Henry George was his stepbrother, that like he wasn't his real brother. And a lot of people felt that he turned on Henry George. Henry George had an event. Now, I did something that was very unpopular. I took a picture with Henry George and I posted it. I don't condone what he did, but he's still my brother, and I'm my brother's keeper. And it's our responsibility to pick up our brothers and sisters when they fall. How many of y'all do that? All the churches in Mount Vernon, a whole lot of y'all go to church. Y'all ain't living by what y'all been hearing. I mean, I read the same Bible y'all read. I go to some of the same churches y'all go to. But the behavior is anything but Christ-like. And you call your brother everything but a child of God. Your brother and your sister. The enemy wins when we fight amongst each other. That has been a strategy since slavery that still works today. Whether it's the light skin versus the dark skin. Whether it's this one versus that one. The East Coast rappers versus the West Coast rappers. Whatever it is. The Democrat versus the Republican. The Sean Patterson Howard team versus the Andre Wallace team. The Andre Rainey team versus the Vinny Vessi team in Peekskill. We just keep picking sides and keep going at each other. And I'm tired of it. Real talk. So, and summing this all up, anybody who missed it, please see the end. Leslie's cigar. Is that Big Les? What's up, Big Les? Ain't seen you in a while. Still looking good, though. Yo, in closing, yo, we gotta treat each other much better. We gotta stop being the problem. We gotta start attacking and fighting amongst each other, or our cities, our communities ain't never gonna be better. We gotta vote. We gotta be more informed in our voting patterns. We gotta vote for people that we really feel will do the city good. Not because they my girl, not because they are my guy, not because they a woman and it could be the only woman, not because they black. You know, I had somebody tell me I was sexist because I did not support Hillary as a presidential candidate. I was supporting Bernie Sanders. And then after that, I wanted, who's the chick running now that was supposed to run then? I forget her name, the other white lady. I wanted her to run. But she ended up not running. I would have supported her. But that didn't make me sexist because I didn't support her. Just like it didn't make people racist if they didn't like Obama. Yo, you have the right to pick and choose who you want. But you got to live with that choice. Be prepared to live with the choice that you make. So let's stop voting for people because they cool, or because we went to school with them, or because, you know, my mama and they mama go back, because, you know, that's what it be in Mount Vernon. And, you know, we find out all our mamas know each other, and they always friends in school, or whatever, or my family didn't like your family 50 years ago, so I can't support you. All the bullshit. Let's stop the bullshit. And again, I say in closing, one thing I see is everybody say they want change. Everybody say they want Mount Vernon to be better. Everybody say that they tired of the bullshit that's going on. What are you prepared to do about it? You. Everyone who can hear my voice and see my face right now. What are you prepared to do about it? Huh? Stop waiting for somebody else. Stop electing somebody to be your savior and save your city. What are you prepared to do about it? What are you willing to do about it? That might be the first question you need to answer before you go attacking somebody else. And the next time you went to attack somebody else and you want to talk about what somebody is doing and isn't doing, maybe you should look in the mirror and see what it is that you are doing and what you aren't doing and what role you're playing or not playing. Because if you're not part of the problem, if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. In the conditions of the city, what's your role? You know, if we worried more about what we was doing and what our role was and stop worrying about everybody else, one, the city would be better off already, right there. Because everybody be doing what they're supposed to be doing. Then we need to work together. And Black Westchester, like I said, is not fighting for anybody else who's not willing to fight for themselves. Y'all not leaving me out there to catch all your heat and all your beef because you ain't man enough or woman enough to stand there. Shout out to everybody who holds us down. We just celebrated our 5th anniversary of the radio show, our 5th anniversary of the website, our 2-year anniversary of the newspaper. Thank you for everybody who actually does support us, whether it's advertisement, whether it has been donation. Yo, David Gage, my man, Christian rapper named Gage. I don't know if you're in the Bronx or Brooklyn. What's happening, my brother? Remember you from my Spiritual Minded radio days. We got to get in touch. I'm back in New York. So anyway, and shout to Shay Darden, Earl Franchise, Lorraine Lopez, the lovely Lorraine Lopez. She just celebrated her birthday recently. Co-host of People Before Politics, and she got a column in the paper, Latino Empowerment. Tyree Fuller, what's going on? Dawn Dobbs. I think I mentioned everybody else. Peace to my brother Kassam. Used to be in a group in a show with my cousin. Shout out to Wayne Robinson. But yo, for real though, we need to be talking about Black pride, Black power, Black unity. We need to be talking about unity as Mount Vernon residents. All of this fighting and shit amongst ourselves is part of the problem. One, we got to look at our own responsibility and check ourselves. And stop the bullshit. Stop making permanent enemies over a temporary situation like the election. Because after November 6th, you have to live with these people and still see these people that you've made enemies now of. Because they supported someone different than you did. That's bullshit. Shout out to my partner, Damon K. Jones. Shout out to everybody who supports us. This is Black Westchester. This is the Facebook Live version of my editorial column, Real Talk with AJ Woodson. I'm not going to do these often, but this one, I got tired of everything I've been seeing and reading on social media and seeing in the streets and the bullshit propaganda being mailed to people's houses, like with the one against, and I'm calling them all out, the one against Sean, that's out now, the one that was against Andre before the primary, all of them that are not true. I'm calling it all out. Anybody who did it that was whack, and if that's the only way you can get your candidate in, they don't belong in there. And I said it. Word up. If you can't support your person and talk about why your person is the best person without bringing all that bullshit, then they don't need to be there, and you need to get out of the game. I'm just keeping it real, yo. Somebody has to. I hope everybody steps up, and I hope everybody begins to work together, and I hope we do better. But, with that said and done, I'm out. This is Black Westchester. The live Facebook Live version of my editorial column. Real Talk with AJ Woodson. Check us out this Sunday. We have an extended 2 hours of People Before Politics radio show. We're on 6 to 8, but this week we will be on 4 to 8. I have about 3 or 4 Supreme Court Justice candidates, Westchester Supreme Court Justice candidates between the hours of 4 and 6. Then we're going to have the Republican guy running against Spano at 6 something. And then we're supposed to have Reverend Wheeler and Minister Hafiz Muhammad on between 7 and 8, talking about the Unity Day that Reverend Wheeler will be having at his church, Mount Calvary. Somebody says, how do I get on? How do you get on the station? Well, one, we broadcast as an internet radio station. We broadcast online, www.inthemixradio.com. Mix has 2 X's. Or just like you're watching this Facebook Live, you can watch, I also stream live on my Facebook page and on the People Before Politics radio page. So you can watch it that way too. And then we usually run the archive on blackwestchester.com. All right, yo, it's time to stand up, make a difference, be the change you want to be. You got something to say? You got some issues you want to address? Write a letter to the editor. I'll blast it out. I'll make sure everybody see it. Shout out to Andem. Forgot what position you're running for. Shout out to Uncle Ray Copeland. Shout out to Jay Sean Lang, Arlene Shield, Ayanna Armstrong. Ayanna, how's it going with your book? Let me know what's going on with that. You can read about her book on the front page of blackwestchester.com. She got a new book coming out, Judge Armstrong's daughter. We all need to support her. Shout out to Jeff Monroe. Sorry you missed it, bro. I'd ask you to go back to the beginning. Try to address some of the stuff we talk about, the negative attitudes, especially during campaign season, and how we killing ourselves and we fighting amongst each other and we doing the work of the enemy. That's basically what I address. So, again, all y'all that said y'all want change, what are you prepared to do for it? What are you prepared to do about it? And if we spend that energy that we've been spending fighting against each other and fight together for some stuff, the city would already be better off. That's all I got to say. I'm out. Please continue to leave your comments. If you missed and just tuned in, go back to the beginning. Feel free to comment. If y'all want to see me do more of these, let me know. Y'all think this was enough? Let me know. Whatever. Check us out Sunday. Sunday on In the Mix and Monday on VOX 11 to 6 to Black Westchester Powwow. We will be on this Monday. Coming up. Monday the 4th. Yeah, Monday the 4th. We'll be on the Black Westchester Powwow. Check us out. And also you can check me out on Bob Marone's show, Radio Westchester, radiowestchester.com. Tuesdays, I think I'm on 8:20 in the morning, something like that. Shout out to everybody who tuned in, who supports us, who rocks with us. Yo, let's get it together, man. Let's get it together. And if you do, here's one. Let's stop the Facebook beef, entertaining others. If I got a problem with you, I'm going to talk to you. If you have a problem with me, most of y'all know how to reach me. I'm a very reachable person. I'm all over Facebook. I'm all over social media. Y'all can find a way to reach me. Give me a message. You want to sit down? You want to talk offline? You even want to talk on the phone? Come to me. Let's stop entertaining Facebook people with our personal stuff, putting all our stuff out there. I got a problem directly with you. I'm talking to you. A lot of people got problems, but they won't talk to the person. People always call me, Sam Rivers did this. Well, tell Sam. I don't like the way so-and-so said this. Tell that person. You got a problem with them, talk to them. We don't talk to each other no more because of the social media stuff, Social media got us like, we don't have dialogue. We have no relationship with each other. You're just a Facebook friend. We do stuff for likes. Shit is whack. Thank you, Jeff. Says, keep it up, AJ. All right, I'm out. I ain't going to keep it too long. Be blessed. Let's do better, man. Let's do better for real. That was the bottom line of this. Let's do better. All right? Peace.